Smile 2 is one of those rarest of things, a horror sequel that is significantly better than the original. This time around, pop star Naomi Scott is victim to the cursed demonic possession that messes with her mind and life until eventually she may be forced to end it all. The big highlight of Smile 2 is Naomi Scott. She's fantastic in it. She steals the show with a powerful performance that ranges from conflicted, troubled, manic, stressed, depressed and more. The character is dealing with a lot, physically and mentally. The key themes of the movie are those of past trauma, regret, mental health and guilt. Naomi manages to convey all these things well throughout the film, with each of them weighing her down while she's also trying to make a career comeback, dealing with the pressure of fame and fortune and stardom in general. As both a pop star and a horror victim, she really shines. In terms of scares and horror, the sequel is also better than the first. Yes, it relies heavily on jump scares. Those jump scares can often seem a little cheap and predictable, but in this outing many of them are creative and still effective despite their relatively cheap and simple use. Mixed in is a reasonable level of suspense and tension. The film does a good job at building up the scares. You know where a scare is going to happen often enough, you just don't know how exactly it's going to happen. There are also jump scares in moments you least expect them too, making sure this 2-hour plus film always has some sort of scare factor going on. That leads into the film's biggest problem. It's too long. At just over 2 hours, the film does eventually start to repeat a lot of the same tricks it used earlier on. It manages to constantly push and escalate the events and scares, but not always in a satisfying way. And in terms of story and character, its length doesn't always serve them well, as towards the end of the film it becomes more about scares and set pieces than on character and themes. The special effects of the film are also a little bit of a letdown. The film clearly has a decent budget with great sets, costumes and cinematography. It's very stylish. But the admittedly limited special effects, especially those achieved via CGI, don't look good. The finale of the film is distractingly not as good as it could have been thanks to poorly lit and conceived CGI elements. Other, more practical effects fare much better, such as gross out body horror and viscera. Smile 2 is slightly too long and its finale features distractingly bad CGI, but Naomi Scott is amazing in it. The scares and the tension are good, and the exploration of trauma and mental health, guilt and regret elevate this to being a movie that's about more than just cheap scares and thrills. It's the rarest of things, a horror sequel that's significantly better than the original.